Philly dominated Hershey. So we'll talk about our high school state basketball champions, plus we'll get you warmed up for spring next on SFBN Talks High School Sports. Talk about that game and that team in particular.
And let's talk about some of the players. Yeah, so let's talk about that.
Welcome to another edition of SFBN Talks High School Sports. I'm your host, Ari Bluestein, and JT, a lot of success for the Philadelphia area teams at the state level. 5 of the 8 PIAA state championships go to teams from District 12.
That's absolutely right, and 2 local teams losing the finals, so it could have been 7 out of 8. Philadelphia boys teams in particular winning all 4 categories. That's never happened before.
Yeah, that was really amazing. But let's talk about the girls' championship first. That was Newman Goretti. They finished an undefeated season with the state championship, and Coach Andrea Peterson really did a great job. They had unfinished business last year. They finished it off this year.
They sure did. They were 29-0, thinking they were going to win the championship last year. Sean LaSalle said, Well, this year they got to play the same team. The game was over about 30 seconds in. They were up 8-0, and they rolled, winning the game by 37 points. And
Newman Goretti actually had 2 championships as Carl Arragale does it again. They beat their Catholic League rival Archbishop Carroll in the state championship, and Quade Green, Vaughn Covington, Lamar Kimball, they do a great job, and they win another state championship.
It was a fantastic final. Derek Jones from Carroll, I give him credit. I never seen him play better. Had he made more foul shots, maybe Carroll wins the championship. But Newman played more consistently. They were more well-rounded, had more balance, and they were able to pull the game out. And Carl Arragale does it again.
And Roman Catholic, who actually won the Catholic League over Newman Goretti, they win the state championship as well at the 4A level over Martin Luther King. Chris McNesby gets the state title, the first one for Roman Catholic.
If you've seen Chris, he's been running around very, very loose these days, feeling a lot lighter. He got 2 big monkeys off his back this year. Gets a Catholic League title. Newman had won 6 in a row. He was the only team to beat Newman this year, and he beat him twice. And then in the States, where they've lost 4 or 5 times in the first round, Roman able to get by that early hurdle. They won some close games, and they win the championship over rival Martin Luther King. I give a lot of credit to Chris McNesby and the squad for what they did this year.
Now, in the smaller classifications, Philly did well as well. Constitution, after winning 2A last year, they win single A this year, and they do it with ease. And Rob Moore with another state championship.
Yeah, you would like to see them get tested more. Their biggest test, probably the local team, MCS, in the Final Four, and they won pretty handily there. They did a great job against Farrell. That game wasn't even close. That was maybe going to be the one game that was going to be contested. Ahmad Gilbert had 28 points in that game. Kamar Williams, the most unheralded, unknown player in the Philadelphia region. I think he's really going to help with the Division I program once he commits somewhere.
Now, you thought Roman and Newman Goretti and Constitution all had good shots to win their respective state championships. But I don't think anybody talked about Conwell Egan as a state title contender at the beginning of the year. We knew they would be good, but they win the city title and they win the 2A state title, a magical run for Coach Frank Sciolla.
Yeah, I remember talking in November saying they had a chance and they were going to have a good team this year. Stevie Jordan and company, they brought all their starters back. Frank Sciolla has really blended this team well together, and they played so well in the playoffs. I wasn't sure they could beat a team that was 29-0 in Aliquippa from the Pittsburgh area that was playing on all cylinders, has 2 Division I players, but they made all the plays at the end of the game. They executed. The teams that execute the best in close games win the games. So congratulations to Conwell Egan.
Well, it was a great story, and when we return, we're going to talk to Coach Sciolla and a couple of players next on SFBN Talks High School Sports.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
For over 30 years, the Runaround has serviced southeastern Pennsylvania as the premier team outfitter in the region. Located in Abington, the Runaround serves as a one-stop shop for many of the area's top high school and collegiate athletic programs, as well as numerous travel teams, youth organizations, and corporations. With its top-quality screen printing and embroidery coupled with the best prices in the region, the Runaround is your answer to any team apparel needs.
The Ambler Sports Academy is owned and operated by professional teachers and coaches. We specialize in individual, group, and team training. Book your next baseball or softball birthday party with us or call to learn more about how we can improve your organization by providing coaching clinics, tryout evaluations, and on-the-field training. The Ambler Sports Academy will be offering summer camps at the following locations. Be sure to visit our website today for details. We look forward to helping your players reach their maximum potential.
Welcome back. We are now joined by Coach Frank Sciolla and Chase Kumar and Sean Kelly of the state champion Conwell Egan Eagles. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Coach, when you came to Conwell Egan a couple of years ago, did you have the expectations of winning city and state titles in 2015, only your second season?
I'm not sure that, we had those type of expectations. The first thing we wanted, because we didn't get the job until mid-September, was just to learn everyone's name. Once we had that, we found out what type of team we had. And you don't think as much in terms of district or state titles, but just what can we do to be competitive and get going in the direction that we wanted. We had a really positive experience at Bristol. We got to Bristol, the situation was really upside down. Quickly, we were able to win a league title in the first year. By the time we left Bristol, we left them with 4 3-year starters and a transfer coming in that was really high profile. So we knew we were leaving a great group of kids who really were going to win a district and make a deep state playoff run to come to a situation that was largely unknown. When we came in here, we found that we did have a tremendous group of young men, but still, to say that we'd win a district or a state title would be presumptuous. We just wanted to be competitive as we could, as fast as we could.
After Catholic League play was done, did you and your teammates think you had a state title run in you?
As you know, the Catholic League is a tough league to play in. Every game is a war. So we felt like we were prepared no matter who we played, and we were excited to have the experience to play in the state playoffs and have a chance to make a run at it. So we were looking forward to it all season, and then when you finally get there, it was an exciting time.
Sean, how does it feel to have brought home a city and state championship to Conwell Egan, a program that hadn't won a playoff game since the mid-'60s?
It's something that's definitely special to be a part of. I've been around the school a really long time. All my siblings went here. I'm the youngest. So, to be on the first team to win a playoff game and now a state title, it's just something to be proud of, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Coach, what was the toughest test for you during the state title run?
In the state title run, obviously, I'd say game-wise, we talk about Loyal Sock, who was really good, who returned all 5 starters, including 4 kids who have been 3-year varsity starters, 2 1,000-point scorers, to play them up there against the all-time winningest coach in the history of Pennsylvania. That was a challenge. And then Aliquippa at 29-0 from a really tradition-strong city. They were a formidable opponent, was averaging 75 points a game. That was tough. Within our own league, which prepared us, we did have a gauntlet at the end of the year where we went on the road to Carroll on a Friday, on the road to West Catholic, on the road to St. Joe Prep, 3 straight games, all with teams facing must-wins. And then we finished up here on a Sunday with Newman and then headed back after a bye to the playoffs on the road again at Carroll. We never lost confidence, even though we did lose some games, and we stuck together. And I think that really helped us when we played the really difficult teams like Loyal Sock, and then, of course, Aliquippa, who was tremendous.
Now, this is a question for all of you, and we'll start with you, Coach. When the final buzzer sounded and you were state champions, how did that feel, and what did you do?
Just the looks on the kids' faces that were around you, seeing the joy that they have, knowing what they've sacrificed, knowing that they're going to be able to walk into the gym and see that banner and have that lifelong memory. My first thought was of the immediate present and everyone who was right around me. And then it very quickly, as I walked around, as I stared into the crowd, as the kids were jumping up and down, I caught the faces of kids that I've coached and thought about the kids from Pennsbury and Bristol and Egan and their dreams and the dreams we had together and the great things that they taught me. And it became very, very emotional. And it was a super emotional time and has been since then in reconnecting with people. The emails and the phone calls and the things that we have heard and the gifts and the fruit baskets, to be honest, that former players and athletic directors and the class that they have shown has been so humbling that people can say, well, it's not life-changing, but it's definitely life-altering in terms of your memories.
It was unbelievable. There were just so many emotions going through your head, and being able to do it with this group of guys, our team chemistry from not graduating anyone last year and having the same team coming back, we just had so much fun throughout the year, and then having that playoff run and getting to the state championship game was a great task in itself, and then being able to win that game was just so emotional, and then just doing it with that group of guys, there's just that we'll be together forever.
It's something you dream about your entire life, to win a state title, and I'm very happy to do it for Conwell Egan, the school I've been around my entire life. When you were at the Giant Center on Saturday and you looked up and you saw all the alumni and all the students supporting us, we're doing it for ourselves, we're also doing it for them.
Well, thank you again for taking time out and talking to us, and congratulations again on your state championship.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back with the Writers' Corner next on SFBN Talks High School Sports.
Hi, I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
The Sports Fan Base Network, this area's leader in high school sports broadcasting, is heading to TCN with a brand new talk show. Join us every other Wednesday at 6 o'clock for SFBN Talks High School Sports. We'll have everything from interviews with players, coaches, writers, and more, plus analysis, rankings, highlights, and in-depth features on major topics in the Delaware Valley high school sports community. Tune in every other Wednesday, 6 p.m. on TCN for SFBN Talks High School Sports.
The Writers' Corner is brought to you by El Dion Pagilari State Farm Insurance Agency. For all your insurance and financial needs, please contact El Dion and his friendly team at 215-485-5556 or visit their website, epinsured.com.
Welcome back. It's now time for the Writers' Corner, and we are now joined by Chris Goldberg of PhillyLacrosse.com and Lacrosse Media. Chris, thanks for coming on the show today.
All right, it's great to be here.
As we get ready for spring, I know lacrosse is one of the top sports growing in this entire country and in this area. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, there's no doubt that Philly has become one of the top hotbeds in the country, running the website for 7 years now. It's been great to see the growth and see the Philly players make it nationally and the teams make it to the national rankings.
Well, let's talk about some of the top teams in this area. Your rankings just came out this past Monday. Who's kind of the top on the boys' side?
Now we start right off with the Haverford School, 4-0, just finished beating 4 teams from the MIAA, the powerful league in Baltimore. They're number 1 in every rankings in the country this week, without a doubt. I got to see them for half an hour last week, and I couldn't be more impressed.
Any other teams in your rankings? I know the Central League is pretty good, Suburban won as well. Catholic League, you have LaSalle and St. Joe Prep there. So tell us about some of the other teams in your current top 10.
All right, well, number 2, right behind the Haverford School, is the Episcopal Academy. Interac, again, probably the most surprising team in the country this year. I don't think anyone could argue the fact they were 8-13 last year with a young team. They came in this year right off the bat, beat Culver, nationally ranked number 1 or 2 in every rankings. This past weekend played McDonough, number 4 team, to a really tight game, lost by 2 goals. They've equipped themselves really well. They look like an absolute team to reckon with. After the Episcopal Academy, also in the Interac, cannot forget the Malvern Prep. Even though right now they're a little lower in the rankings at number 8, they lost 4 tight games. Big victory over LaSalle this past weekend. And having gone 24-0 last year, you can count on them being right there. As we move along, Garnet Valley, number 3 in our rankings. They had a huge victory over Pencrest, defending state champions. They're definitely one of the favorites in the Central League in District 1. Upper Dublin from the Suburban 1 League, big victory over Avongrove, our 2-time defending District 1 champion. This was Saturday in double overtime. Also a team that had been young, moving up, clearly a huge threat. St. Augustine Prep of South Jersey, they defeated Malvern Prep. Also played IMG Lacrosse Academy of Florida to a tight game. Very impressive program. Bishop Shanahan, the defending Chesmont champion, they're right there. Central Bucks East, always a strong team in Suburban 1. And we've got Pencrest, defending state champion. They lost a lot, but they've got a lot back. And then last, surely not but least, LaSalle lost a tough game to Malvern Prep. They've won a couple state titles in recent years. And the defending Catholic League champions will surely be a team to reckon with.
Now, on the girls' side, we have a program in South Jersey that has won 78 games in a row, Morristown. Wow, that's really impressive to me.
It is, and they've been a national powerhouse for many, many years. 3-time defending Tournament of Champions titleist in New Jersey. They lost a lot, but they just reload. They have an incredible talent pool, great coaching staff, and they're very difficult to beat, and they've proven that. After that, the big story in Philly, what Radnor and Agnes Irwin have done just in the past week. We knew there were going to be 2 strong teams. Radnor has cracked the national rankings, 3-0 start, beating 3 nationally ranked teams. Won our defending state champion, Garnet Valley, then Suffern of New York just on Sunday down in Hilton Head, South Carolina in overtime, right after beating Milton of Georgia, 2 teams that were ranked in the top 12. So watch out for Radnor in District 1 and stateside. And then we've got a couple other great teams, defending champion Garnet Valley, Episcopal Academy also in the Interact will surely challenge it. They won 10 straight titles. They'll surely challenge Agnes Irwin. They've won a couple out-of-state games and look really, really strong.
Now, how about some teams that are maybe not in your rankings right now, but maybe by season's end, they could surprise some people and be right there?
Boys side, the Academy of the New Church is my sleeper. It's a smaller program with a new coach, Rob Forster, who's really brought in some incredible talent there, and they've gotten off to a very strong start. A lot of people really want to see where they can go. Girls side, I wouldn't call it a sleeper because they've been such a strong program and they're in the rankings, but Harriton, which lost a tremendous senior class, and a lot of people might have thought this year they would be down just a little. I don't think so. I think they're going to be pretty good this year. George Dick knows how to coach.
Sounds good. A lot of great teams in this area, and I'm certainly looking forward to talking about them over the next couple of months. Chris Goldberg from PhillyLacrosse.com and Lacrosse Media, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, it's great being here, Ari.
We'll be right back here on SFBN Talks High School Sports.
I got the personal attention I needed. I had a lot of options when I graduated, and as far as I'm concerned, this is my dream job.
Ryder prepared me for my NBA career, and I also got the education that I need for life after basketball.
I had 6 teaching internships while I was at Ryder, and right after graduation, I started a career that I love.
Welcome back. We haven't had the warmest weather, but baseball is a big spring sport, and we have 2 well-respected high school baseball coaches here, John Bernhardt and Joe Parisi, John from Cheltenham and Joe Parisi from LaSalle. Thanks for coming on the show today, guys.
Thanks for having us.
My pleasure.
So, Joe, let me ask you first. You won the state championship last year with LaSalle and then decided to step down as the coach. Talk about that and how that felt to go out on a high note.
Well, the decision to step down as the head coach was kind of made before we went on the playoff run at the end of the year. But it really felt good to end with a championship, state championship, especially since it was kind of unexpected. We had been eliminated in our double elimination tournament playoffs and went 8 days not knowing whether or not we'd even make the playoffs, so make it to the state. And once we got that opportunity, the kids really took advantage of it. They went on a run, 6 straight wins and a state championship, so that made it almost like a storybook finish for me.
Yeah, it really was. And now you've got a former player here going into the coaching ranks, John Bernhardt. And John, you're going to start your coaching career at Cheltenham High School, not too far away from LaSalle. You know, is this something that you always envisioned doing?
Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to be a head, either college or high school coach. My dream was, you know, be a high school teacher and then coach baseball, and I just didn't think I'd get the opportunity at 24 years old to be a head varsity baseball coach. But, you know, it's been a blessing so far. I really lucked out. You know, it was last May, and, you know, March through last May, I was playing college baseball at Chestnut Hill College, and then the day after we were eliminated from the playoffs, I accepted the position as the pitching coach there for the next year and helped out with recruiting through May and August, and you know, came in the fall and helped out with fall workouts and fall ball, and then you know, the Cheltenham job opened up in October, and I had emailed the you know, took a total shot in the dark and emailed the athletic director, and as well as Frank DiSembrino, who was helping with the hiring process, and sent in my resume, and then got an interview. Again, didn't think anything of it. Was like, oh, it's probably just just courtesy. And the next Wednesday, you know, I think I interviewed on I think it was a Friday. The next Wednesday, I got the call from Scott Layer, who's our athletic director at Cheltenham, and, you know, he said, hey, you got the job, you know, it's yours if you want. And I was like 100%, yeah, I'm in.
Well, that's great. And Joe, you know, your former player here, how do you think he'll do as the head coach over at Cheltenham?
I think John will do really well. Just remembering him as a player, he was always somebody who took instruction well. He was always somebody who worked hard. I would say one thing though, John, and that is that probably the easiest part of coaching for you right now is getting the head coaching job. Now the work starts. I would say that probably, you know, you're gonna have to have some patience, you know. But I think he'll do well. Okay.
Now you say the work starts. We haven't had the best of weather to get started in March, but yeah. What have you done to kind of get ready here in your first year of coaching, get your team ready for the season in April?
Luckily, Frank had the returning guys and the freshmen. They were working out at Ambler Sports Academy, which Frank DiSembrino, he's a partner with, so they can work out there for free. I think it was every Wednesday night. So they were working out there, and when I got there in January, we continued it every Wednesday night, and then from there, though, you know, we got killed with snow, and we literally had, I'm not even kidding, for tryouts, we were in the parking lot, I think, 2 days. We were in a third of the gym, not even the whole gym, but a third of the gym, just because, you know, lacrosse, girls lacrosse,
right,
softball, they're all going through the same exact problems we are. So we did, you know, just a lot of fungo work, hitting ground balls. We hit as much as we could, and then, you know, we had the pitchers in the wrestling room throwing bullpens. So, you know, we made do with what we had. You know, the athletic staff has been awesome, so.
And Joe, I'll ask you here, you know, you've coached for a while, now you're not coaching this spring. What's maybe one piece of advice you would give to John, you know, entering his first year at Cheltenham?
I used the word patience before, I'll go back to it. You're gonna have to have some patience, John. I think for anybody to establish their program the way they want it to be, it's gonna take you at least 3 years to get there. You know, and I think if you continue to have the work ethic that I know you have, within 3 years, people will be able to see, and you'll be able to see the fruits of your labor.
Well, now that you're not coaching here in the spring, maybe you'll check out some of his games over at Cheltenham, not too far away.
I already talked to him about it. I'm going to come over and, you know, I'm going to take notes and criticize him.
Sounds good. Well, thank you, Joe, for coming on, and John, best of luck in your season. To find out what's going on with SFBN, check out our website. Well, that about wraps things up for this edition of SFBN Talks High School Sports. And JT, I know you're sad that basketball season is over, but that means that the weather's getting warmer and we could start some of these spring sports.
Yeah, the weather's turning, and that's the best part. But yeah, I'm all about lacrosse and baseball and softball, track. Bring it on. I'm ready.
For Jeremy Treatman, I'm Ari Bluestein. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Have a good night. I still can't get over that this sweat all those.
Select video equipment for SFBN Talks has been provided by DMP Video. DMP Video. You provide the moment, we'll capture the memories. For more information about our videography services, please go to our website at www.dmpvid.com.
The High School Scholar Athlete of the Month for April is David Wolfson of Shipley School in Bryn Mawr, PA. David is a three-sport athlete and is a 2-year captain for the lacrosse team. The senior defenseman has been a part of 2 Friends League lacrosse championships and was a member of the Under-19 Israel national lacrosse team. In the classroom, David is an honor student and has also won state and international Entrepreneurship Innovation Plan awards.
Thank you for watching this episode of SFBN Talks High School Sports. If you liked what you saw and would like to support SFBN, head over to patreon.com/SFBN to become a patron.
The Sports Fan Base Network, this area's leader in high school sports broadcasting, is heading to TCN with a brand new talk show. Join us every other Wednesday at 6 o'clock for SFBN Talks High School Sports. We'll have everything from interviews with players, coaches, writers, and more, plus analysis, rankings, highlights, and in-depth features on major topics in the Delaware Valley high school sports community. Tune in every other Wednesday, 6 p.m. on TCN for SFBN Talks High School Sports.